Hello students, welcome back to the third session of our science class. Previous class we studied about chemical reactions and chemical equations. We were discussing how to balance chemical equations. One example we learned the burning of magnesium in air. 2 Mg plus O2 giving 2 MgO. Further, we move on how to balance chemical equation. The third activity, we learn when zinc granules are added to sulfuric acid, zinc sulfate and hydrogen gas evolved. So when you write the skeletal equation, Zn plus H2SO4 gives zinc sulfate ZnSO4 plus hydrogen gas H2. Now you see that how many elements are there in the reactant side and product. As given in your book, a table can be drawn, 3 columns made, and here the number of elements, the number of atoms in the left hand side L, H, S, the number of atoms of each element in the product side R, H, S. Elements are zinc, hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen. Now you see how many atoms of each element present in the reactant side and product. Zinc, 1 atom of zinc, 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of sulfur and 4 atoms of oxygen. Now you see the number of atoms in the product side, right hand side. There also you see 1 atom of zinc, 1 atom of sulfur, 4 atoms of oxygen and 2 atoms of hydrogen. So the skeletal equation is a balanced equation here. As we move on, we see another equation, another reaction. Iron reacts with water, Fe plus H2O gives Fe3O4 plus hydrogen gas. So this is a skeletal equation. This is not a balanced equation, we know this. Simply looking, we see that the number of atoms are not balanced in the product and reactants. So in this kind of a balancing of a skeletal equation, we call hit and trial method or trial and error method. So we use simple whole numbers, we call multiple numbers or coefficients to balance the chemical equation. The first step, we keep all the compounds in boxes. And when we put boxes around these compounds, they are the chemical formulae. They are formed by chemical bonding in a specific ratio. We are not supposed to make any changes inside the box. And further balancing, how do you know that where do we start with? And what is the clue that it gives to begin with the balancing the chemical equation? Usually, balancing a chemical equation, we identify the compound having more number of atoms. In this reaction we observe the compound iron oxide, there are 3 atoms of iron and 4 atoms of oxygen. In it, oxygen has the highest number of atoms, and we begin our balancing with oxygen, the highest number of atoms. In the reactant side, in water, oxygen has only 1 atom of oxygen in water. But in iron oxide, there are 4 atoms of oxygen in iron oxide. So to balance this, we multiply 4 and that 4 we write here. So we balance oxygen. Further we move on, we balance hydrogen. In the reactant side, here there are 4 molecules of water that makes 4 into 2, 8 atoms of hydrogen. So here 8 atoms of hydrogen. But you see that here only in the product side, hydrogen, only 2 hydrogen atoms. So we have to balance. To balance this, so we multiply 2 into 4. 8 hydrogen atoms. So we write here outside the box 4. What is left? Iron. There are 3 atoms of iron in the product side or in the iron oxide, and here we put 3 as a coefficient. So the final reaction right here, excluding our boxes, 3Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus H2O4 molecules of hydrogen. Balanced equation. So earlier I told this kind of a balancing of a chemical equation is called hit and trial method, or it's also called trial and error method of balancing equation. A chemical equation also can give the physical state of the product and reactants. We see, as you know, iron is a solid substance, therefore we write below iron S. And iron can react with not ordinary water but steam. Therefore we write here G below water. Iron oxide is a solid substance, therefore we write S below that. And below hydrogen, as you know, hydrogen is a gas, gaseous substance, therefore below hydrogen we write G. We also, another symbol also use below, that is AQ. You may see chemical equations below chemical substance sometimes written as AQ. AQ stands for aqueous solution. If the compound dissolved in a solution, we call aqueous solution. So these are the symbols which designate the state of matter or the state of the substance in chemical equation, solid or aqueous solution or gaseous substances. So these are the different steps involved in the balancing of this reaction. Then there are certain conditions required for chemical reactions to occur. Chemical reactions normally at an ordinary temperature and pressure may not occur. Sometimes we have to heat, temperature should be provided. Sometimes in a particular atmospheric pressure only the chemical reaction may occur. Or sometimes a chemical substance is required for a chemical reaction. We call that chemical substance a catalyst. Or like photosynthesis, there is another condition also required. Chlorophyll is required for chemical reaction. So all this also can be represented in a chemical reaction. And how to represent? 2 of the examples are given. One is the reaction between carbon monoxide and hydrogen gas to produce a compound called methanol, CH3OH, methanol or methyl alcohol. It's a skeletal equation. By seeing first side, you can see that it's not balanced. So to balance here, you may see that here 2 atoms of hydrogen and here total 4 atoms of hydrogen in the product side. Therefore, a multiple number, a coefficient 2 is given before. 2 molecules of hydrogen react with 1 molecule of carbon monoxide to form a molecule of methanol or methyl alcohol. This reaction takes place 340 atmospheric pressure, ATM. 340 atmosphere. In another equation or another chemical reaction, that is photosynthesis, 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, CO2, react with 12 molecules of water to produce one molecule of glucose or carbohydrate C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus 6H2O. This reaction occurs, as I told earlier, two conditions required. One is sunlight and the other one is chlorophyll. So here, atmospheric pressure or pressure, sunlight, chlorophyll are the conditions required for chemical reactions. We can represent them also in chemical equations. Above the arrow mark or below the arrow mark, we can represent the conditions required for chemical reactions also. The next topic, we come to the different types of chemical reactions. There are mainly six types of chemical reactions we learn. Types of chemical reactions. Different types of chemical reactions. Six types of chemical reactions. One is combination reaction. Second one is decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction. 3. Displacement reaction. 4. Double displacement reaction. 5. Oxidation. And 6. Reduction. Decomposition reaction, again 3 types of decomposition reactions we see. Thermal decomposition, electrolytic decomposition and photolytic chemical reactions. So these are the next topic we are going to see the next class. Combination, decomposition, displacement, double displacement, oxidation and reduction reactions. So with this we conclude today's class and we will see the details and examples of these type of chemical reactions in the next class. Before I conclude, I give some assignments for the next before the next class. You are supposed to write the experiments, the activities in an activity book. For that, to buy a 100-page book and experiments and whatever is possible we will do in the lab, but we have to record it in your activity book. So buy a 100-page book and write the activities one by one. So to begin with, I give you 3 assignments. Activity number 1, 2 and 3. As you know, an experiment has 4 parts. 1. The aim of the activity or the experiment, the procedure, the observation and conclusion. Aim and the reactions that I will give you, I will send to you, and the details as per the order I gave you. Aim followed by procedure, then observation and conclusion. This way, one by one, you have to complete it. Activity number 1, 2 and 3. So aim and chemical equations, and that you have to write. Chemical equation you have to write after the observation that I will give you. And other details going through the activity you have to complete.